Hey friends! Ever noticed how debt is just diet misspelled? I mean, they both seem to involve a lot of sacrifices and leave us feeling a little starved. Except with debt, we're hungry for more money, not a midnight snack. And just like a diet, it feels like we're always saying, I'll start tomorrow. Well, my friends, tomorrow has finally come. Today, we're going on a journey together to tackle that mountain of debt that's been casting a shadow over our financial freedom. We'll take it step by step, and by the end, you'll have a clear path to start climbing out of the red and into the black. Now, let's dive right in with our first step. Stop borrowing money. I know. It's a bit like telling a chocoholic to stop eating chocolate. But hear me out. Borrowing money is like double dipping your chip at a party. It feels good in the moment, but it leaves everyone, especially your wallet, with a bad taste. We need to kick this habit to the curb, friends. No more loans, no more swiping those credit cards like they're going out of style. It's time to live within our means. And speaking of living within our means, let's move on to our next step. Monitor where your money is going. You know how water always finds a way to slip through the tiniest cracks? Well, our money tends to behave the same way, disappearing before we know it. The good news is, we can fix this leak by keeping an eye on where our money is flowing. This can be as simple as jotting down your expenses in a notebook, or going high-tech with a budget tracker app. Remember, knowledge is power, my friends. And knowing where your money is going is the first step to keeping more of it in your pocket. If you're finding these tips helpful so far, do me a favor and smash that like button. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next steps in our debt-free journey. So now that we've found all the leaks in our money boat, it's time to chart a course for smoother waters. This brings us to our next step. Create a budget plan and stick to it. Think of this as planning a road trip. You wouldn't just hop in the car and hope to reach your destination eventually, right? You'd map out the best route, avoiding roadblocks and tolls, and ensuring you have enough fuel to get there. Well, consider your budget plan your GPS to financial freedom. Start by jotting down your income and expenses. Then, set some financial goals. Want to pay off that pesky credit card? Save for a vacation? Write it down. But remember, your goals should be as realistic as expecting your dog not to steal your pizza when you leave the room. Achievable, but it might take some discipline. Which brings us to our next point, and this one's a doozy, friends. Develop a payment strategy. Now, I'm sure we've all built a snowman or two in our time. Start small, but as you roll that snowball around, it gets bigger and bigger. Well, when it comes to debt, we're going to do the snowball method in reverse. With the debt snowball method, you start by paying off your smallest debts first, while making minimum payments on your larger ones. Then, as each smaller debt is paid off, you roll that money into the next smallest debt, and so on. It's like rolling your snowball uphill until you're at the top with no more debt. But, while we're talking about payments, let's move on to a crucial tip. Don't just pay the minimum balance, pay more. Remember in gym class when you do the minimum to get by? Well, this isn't dodgeball, and doing the minimum won't help you dodge debt. If you want to be debt-free, it's time to step up your game. Paying more than the minimum balance is one of the fastest ways to free yourself from debt's clutches. It's like adding a turbo boost to your debt snowball. So, if you can, make it a habit to pay a bit extra each month. Now that we're overachieving on our payments, let's talk about a strategy that feels like getting a secret cheat code: renegotiating any credit card debt. You know when you're at a yard sale and you haggle over that vintage vinyl record, trying to get the best deal? Well, it turns out you can do something similar with your credit card company. Give them a call, and see if they'd be willing to negotiate your debt. Sometimes, they may even accept a lower lump sum payment to settle the debt. So, put on your best haggling hat and give it a shot. The worst they can say is no, right? Next up, we're going to be a little frugal and start to look at ways we can save on our monthly bills. This step is all about considering changing utility service providers. Now, I'm not suggesting we all start living by candlelight and bathing in the river, but there might be some wiggle room in your utility bills. Take a look at what you're paying for services like internet, electricity, and gas. Could you get a better deal elsewhere? Sometimes, a little bit of shopping around can lead to big savings. And while we're talking about saving and planning, let's move on to our next step: create a family budget. Whether your family is just you and your pet goldfish, or a full house with kids, everyone needs to be on the same page. Just like how everyone needs to agree on a pizza topping, or you end up with a half pineapple, half anchovy situation. Get everyone involved in the budgeting process. Not only will this help everyone understand where the money's going, but it'll also improve everyone's personal finance skills. It's a win-win. Alright friends, we're nearing the end of our journey. But before we reach our destination, let's talk about being adaptable. This step is all about adjusting when needed. Budgets are a bit like your favorite pair of jeans. Sometimes, they fit just right. But other times, after a particularly festive holiday season, you might need to let out the belt a bit. The same goes for your budget. Life is unpredictable. You might encounter emergencies or sudden changes that affect your financial situation. In those instances, don't be afraid to adjust your budget. Just like those stretchy jeans, your budget needs to be flexible too. And finally, the last step on our journey to becoming debt-free, decide to be debt-free. I know, it sounds like I'm stating the obvious. But it's more than just a decision. It's about visualizing your debt-free life. Imagine waking up and the only debt you have is the sleep debt from staying up too late watching my videos. So, close your eyes, and imagine a life with zero debt. Feels pretty good, doesn't it? Hold on to that feeling and let it motivate you on your journey to financial freedom. And there you have it friends. We've journeyed together through the wild and often intimidating world of debt. But remember, conquering debt is like completing a marathon. It's done one step at a time. So, let's lace up our shoes and hit the road. If you found this helpful, or if you just want to support my dream of becoming the next YouTube finance guru, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, sharing my videos doesn't cost a thing. And that's the kind of spending we can all get behind. Until next time, stay frugal, my friends.